Did you know that if you travel outside of the US, you are unlikely to be covered by your health insurance? Even worse, did you know that not having medical coverage could cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars in emergency hospital bills? I don't know about you, but I didn't work my ass off to save enough money to retire abroad, only to have my finances wiped out because I slipped in the shower or risked getting run over by a backpacker on a motorbike in Thailand. Not all insurance policies are created equal. With dozens of options and weird legal jargon and a 20-page list of things that they want to exclude and reasons for not paying, shopping for health insurance is mind-numbingly painful. Well, Nomadic Fire is here to help you out. I'll reveal the crucial details and fine print you need to know to ensure that you get the best medical coverage while you're overseas. I want to be clear. I am not a licensed insurance broker, but I have been an expat abroad for over 10 years. I've traveled to over 50 different countries and I've had to do all this research for myself. And now I'm sharing what I've found with you. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which insurance options offer the coverage you need. Skipping this first step could leave you vulnerable to not just enormous financial risk, but you're putting your health and the health of your family in danger. Now, this video is part one of a 4-part series on how I choose international health coverage that saves me thousands of dollars a year. So hit that thumbs up and subscribe to get notified when I release the next insurance video. First, let me qualify. If you're employed abroad, this information is less relevant to you. As part of your work contract, your employer will likely handle all your insurance. But for other expats, retirees, or digital nomads who spend a significant time outside of their home country, you need to listen when I say you need insurance. Your home insurance is unlikely to cover you for any accidents, injuries, or illnesses that you sustain in a foreign country. Notice I said accidents, as that's something you don't plan for. I run into way too many younger expats, and even ones that should know better, who say, oh, you know what, I'm healthy, I eat right, I exercise, I just don't get sick. I don't need health insurance. I hate to tell you, but diet and exercise won't help if you get in a motorbike accident, or if you get a bad case of dengue fever from a mosquito bite. It's not about your diet. GoFundMe is filled with examples of expats who didn't have the right kind of insurance coverage. Don't be one of them. Today is the first step, which is understanding the 2 types of insurance available to expats: travel insurance and international health insurance. To make things even more confusing, they call these things and they refer to them by different names. Sometimes instead of travel insurance, some companies call it travel medical insurance. Instead of travel medical, sometimes they call it travel health. And sometimes they even say trip insurance, which is primarily used to cover lost baggages and late flights, but somehow gets mixed up as a medical policy. It is a jumbled mess. The terminology and marketing names can be confusing. I'm going to help simplify them for you, but the point is you're going to need to focus less on labels and more on specifics. The big ones are: what type of medical treatment is covered, where can you get coverage, how long can you get coverage for, and the big one, of course, is what's the price. If you need help deciding which insurance is best for you, I've created a quick online tool to help. There are 5 questions and it only takes about 2 minutes, and after that, you're going to get an answer about which type of insurance is best for your type of lifestyle. However, the easiest way and the quickest way to think about insurance is in terms of cost versus coverage. International health insurance has the most coverage and the most cost. Travel medical is cheaper, but doesn't cover as much. So let's dig into those 2 statements just a little bit. Travel medical insurance. What is covered? This type of insurance covers you if you're sick or injured while abroad. Typically, travel policies do not cover chronic conditions such as cancer or even pre-existing conditions such as diabetes. Additionally, travel medical coverage typically includes illnesses and emergency treatment, but not routine exams or any preventative maintenance. You know those health checkups we're supposed to get every year? Nix. What about vaccines to prevent diseases? Nada. What about health screens to catch things like cancer early on before they get serious? Nuh-uh. Basically, if you get yellow fever from a mosquito bite, your travel medical policy covers you. But if you want a vaccine to prevent catching yellow fever in the first place, you're not covered. Yeah, insurance logic is not always logical. Duration of coverage. Travel health insurance covers you while you're away from home for a short period. This period can be as short as a few days. While most policies will cut you off after 364 days, there are some companies out there that focus on digital nomads that allow you to renew and keep going. However, this is real important. Let's say in the worst case scenario, you've been diagnosed with something like a chronic heart condition, or you have major surgery because of a terrible surfing accident while in Bali, and it's something that may take months to recover from. Well, most travel medical policies work in that your initial treatment is covered, but the caveat is that you have to stay on the same insurance policy. If you hit the maximum policy length, like that 364-day limit that I just mentioned earlier, or if you go home because you want to recover, well, your policy, and therefore your coverage for that treatment, stops. And to kick you when you're down, when you go to renew your policy, all those old conditions or injuries are now deemed pre-existing and are not going to be covered under your new policy. Now, you might think, you know what, don't worry, if I get sick, I get injured, and I need a new policy, I'll just jump to a new company. Nah, it doesn't work that way. Another travel insurance company is going to nope you as well because now you have these pre-existing conditions. Geographic coverage. Travel, medical, and international insurance both have geographic limits depending on the policy in the company. A typical limit is whether you're covered in the US. The US is by far the most expensive country for medical care. See that dot all alone up there? That's what the US spends per person. That dot represents over $12,000 per person per year. That's nearly $4,000 more than the next highest dot, which is Switzerland. And when is the last time you've ever heard anyone say, you know what, Switzerland's kind of cheap? The rest of the developing world averages half of what the US spends on health insurance. Now, what do all these charts and graphs mean and why do you care? Well, my travel medical policy covers me all over the world. It's something like 160 countries. It's wherever I want to go. However, it excludes me when I go to the US. If I want to add US coverage, my rates will literally double. The idea is travel medical complements your home health insurance in your home country, but it does not replace it. It has limits. And this leads us to your first insider tip. Most travel medical policies require you to maintain home health insurance. This is something most foreigners, especially US expats, screw up because the US insurance can cost upwards to $8,000 per year for an individual and over $22,000 for family. Many Americans just don't keep insurance and they try to rely on their travel medical plan. Bad move. This requirement is essential because the insurance company can make a life-altering decision if you need serious medical care. Here's what's hidden in the tiny fine print. The company has the option to pay for your medical treatment in your current country, or they can pay to fix you up just enough to be approved for travel back to your home country, and they'll pay for the flight back home. Now, great! This is what you're thinking. You get a free flight back home. However, the key thing most people miss is that once they drop you off in your home country, their obligation stops. Once you're home, your home insurance is supposed to kick in. It's not going to surprise you that insurance companies will choose the cheaper of these options, regardless of which option is actually better for you. Let's talk about cost. As you can imagine, monthly prices vary. You can make that monthly cost higher or lower just by adjusting your deductible, changing the maximum dollar amount, changing types of coverage, or changing what countries you want to include or exclude as part of your policy. Additionally, your age plays a huge amount in determining your cost. I'll give you a benchmark. For a 50-year-old male like myself, I pay about $80 a month for $1 million of coverage and a $2,500 deductible. Oh, crap, that's a lie. By the time I publish this video, it'll be after my birthday, so my insurance is gonna go up. Freaking damn old age. Well, let's shop around a little bit so you can see in real time what a one-year policy costs. First, I want to say if you're learning something from this video, please use this link. I get a small commission for referring you at no extra cost to you. Your support helps me put more great content out there. I've also left the link in the description box below. Now, I'm going to use SafetyWing because I want to compare the cost of a travel policy with a more comprehensive international plan. Safety Wing makes it easy because they have both a travel medical policy they call Nomad Insurance and a new international health plan called Nomad Health, and both offer online quotes so we can compare prices instantly. Here's the page where you can get a quote for their travel health plan. Don't get too excited about the $55 number quoted here. That only covers 4 weeks and is for someone between 18 and 39 years old. For older folks, like this guy, scroll down here to the pricing calculator. Here you can pick an age closer to you. I'll be 51 by the time I buy my coverage. You can see that their basic plan without any add-ons called insurance riders is $145 every 4 weeks. Safety Wing does this weird 4-week billing, so to get a full year amount, click this box and pick your dates. Safety Wing's travel policies have a maximum duration of 364 days, so not quite a year. As I mentioned earlier though, the policies can be renewed. A 1-year plan is nearly $1,900 US. This is a bit more than what I'm currently paying, but Safety Wing has more coverage than my current provider. The big one is that Safety Wing has no deductible. This means their insurance is going to kick in after the first dollar is spent on an eligible claim. My current insurance has a $2,500 deductible, which means my current provider doesn't pay a dime until my total insurance claims are over $2,500 for the year. International health insurance. International health insurance is more like the health insurance you're familiar with back in the US, but it works worldwide. It covers routine care, checkups, even includes pre-existing conditions as long as you get them approved when you sign up. Now, obviously not all policies are the same. There's like a $12,000 Cadillac Global Blue policy out there that's 15 times more expensive than my cheapest policy. So what I'm about to say is generally correct, but doesn't apply to every policy out there. What is covered? In contrast to the bare bones limited coverage offered by travel medical plans, international health insurance, sometimes also referred to as expat health insurance, is way more comprehensive. These plans go from basic, just covering accidents and emergencies, inpatient care, and cancer, but they have more premium plans, which add things like coverage for routine checkups, preventative care, vaccines, health screenings, eyeglasses, contact lenses, and even laser eye surgery. Then there's like a platinum level of coverage, and they'll cover things like dental treatments, physiotherapy, chiropractic care, and even like alternative treatments like Chinese medicine or acupuncture. And unlike travel medical plans that only cover the initial treatment, expat medical plans cover you for any follow-up or any continual treatment. Let's look at some realistic scenarios and see how coverage differs between a travel medical plan and an international health insurance plan. Imagine some suspect Bangkok street food that has your stomach cramping so badly that you're curled up in the fetal position in bed and you kind of have liquid spewing out both ends. Now, you imagine you can make it to the local ER doctor. He treats you for a serious intestinal infection and keeps you in the hospital for a couple days because of severe dehydration. Good news is that because this is a required hospitalization and it was not a pre-existing condition, both a travel and international policy would cover you. Now, let's imagine starting a week-long trip to Everest Base Camp, and along the way, your foot gets caught in a crevice and you shatter your ankle. You need surgery to repair your ankle and an overnight stay at the hospital. Similar to the prior example, because it's a hospitalization and it's not a pre-existing condition, your surgery and your hospital stay are covered. However, 3 months later, you twist the same ankle while dancing with a cute Austrian girl on the beach in Bali. The doctor says no surgery is needed, but suggests a week of physiotherapy to reduce the inflammation and pain. Your international health insurance could cover the physiotherapy as a follow-on treatment, but the travel medical policy would not. Here is a more simplistic one, but is one that hits very close to home for me. Several members of my extended family were diagnosed with cancer last year, and neither were old, and one was even under 30. And as I mentioned earlier, I'm going to hit 51 soon. The crap fact is that age is the biggest risk factor for cancer. Adults aged 50 to 74 account for more than half of all new cancer cases. Most international health insurance plans will cover cancer treatment, but travel insurance isn't going to do. In contrast to the short-term nature of travel medical insurance, a comprehensive international policy will almost always have a 1-year minimum. Unlike travel policies that will cut you off when you reach 60, many international plans will allow you to maintain your policy until you're 75 or even older. All right, let's talk about geographic coverage. International health insurance usually has the same geographic exclusions as their travel medical counterparts. If a company's standard exclusion excludes the US, Canada, China, or whatever, the same countries would likely be excluded from both their travel and their international plans. However, international plans tend to be much more lenient with how many days you can spend visiting excluded countries. Where a travel plan may completely exclude any visits to the US or limit them to just a few weeks, many international plans cover 60 days or even up to 180 days per year in excluded countries like the US. Now, all that additional coverage sounds great, right? Well, more coverage, more cost. Again, prices vary. Like travel health insurance, you can adjust your monthly cost by changing your deductible, changing your benefits, changing coverage, and changing your countries. And again, age plays a very big deal in determining your price. We already have that $1,900 per year quote for Safety Wings Travel Medical, so let's go to their global health insurance page for another quote. Again, please use this link over here, and I'll also link it in the description box below. Okay, here's the full-fledged health insurance. Again, ignore that 133 number unless you're under 39 years old. Scroll down to the pricing calculator and prick your appropriate age band. You can see that their entry-level plan for a 51-year-old is $309 per month, but requires a 12-month contract. And you can save 10% by paying annually, cutting your annual price to just over $3,300. So, using Safety Wing as an example, getting the increased coverage and benefits of a comprehensive international insurance plan would cost you over 70% more than their travel medical plan. If you take anything from this video, know that you have options. Whether you're a slow traveling nomad or a full-time expat retiree, make sure you choose the insurance plan that matches your lifestyle. Don't just go for what's cheapest unless you're okay with the risk involved. Now, I know I've covered a lot of information in this video, and this is only part 1 of 4 that I'll be releasing on how expats should manage their overseas healthcare. In part 2, I'm going to go over how you can quickly vet your insurance policy and avoid those top mistakes that expats make when choosing health insurance. So hit that like and subscribe button, and you'll get a heads up when part 2 drops. Now, in the comments, tell me which policy is more appealing to you. The more affordable travel medical insurance or the better benefits of an international health plan. If you have questions, just drop them in the comments below and I'll get you some answers. Until then, see ya from Budapest.